Now, we have all heard the rumors of Faith Evans sleeping with Biggie's biggest competition, Tupac, and even Tupac kind of confirmed it in his diss song against Biggie. But there have always been rumors, but over the years, more and more people are coming out to expose what really happened between Faith and Tupac while she was still married to the Notorious BIG. And now Tupac's dad is coming out with the receipts to talk about what really happened. Was she trying to get revenge on Biggie for cheating on her? Now, to give you some context, Tupac and Biggie Smalls had one of the craziest and wildest feuds in the history of rap. I mean, they had the entire East Coast and West Coast involved in their beef, and I don't think any other rap beef has been able to achieve this because rappers nowadays just like to be shady on social media. Now, people have always thought their beef was always because of the beef between Death Row Records and Bad Boy Records, but it turns out that it wasn't the entire story. Now, don't get me wrong, the whole Bad Boy versus Death Row rivalry had something to do with it, but it turns out that one major reason for the beef was because Tupac slept with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans. So according to Tupac's ex-girlfriend Desiree Smith, it was not a mistake or something that happened randomly because he carefully planned it out starting from when he was in prison.
He was trying to figure out how he could exact his revenge on Big. So he started to plot that, musically he was going to crush them. Success. And then he was going to his.
She also revealed that Tupac did not care who he slept with as long as it was someone that was going to hurt Biggie. He wanted to sleep with Lil' Kim at first, but he ultimately decided not to because he felt like Kim was too loyal to Biggie. Yeah, we all know that Biggie was having an affair with Lil' Kim even though he was married to Faith Evans. He was also cheating on Lil' Kim and Faith with several other women, but Kim was so loyal to him. So Tupac decided to go for Faith instead because he believed that she would be less loyal to Biggie since he was actively cheating on her.
Kim seems more loyal to him. I don't know if she would let you do that. So, I was like, probably Faith would be the weaker link out of the two. So ain't nothing like a woman scorned. And, he was like, word. But, he was no more excited, neither one of them, than the other.
So Tupac didn't care who it was, he just wanted to hurt Biggie. He bumped into Faith at a party and they ended up sleeping together even though she was married to Biggie.
When he came out, I guess as fate would have it, he ended up bumping into her at that party. And, I got a phone call the next day. He called me and he's like, I did it. And I'm like, what? What you did? He's like, left my hotel. I was like, what? He's like, yeah.
Now, Faith has always denied these claims, insisting that they were just speculations and that she and Tupac never slept with each other. In an interview, she claimed that Tupac did ask her to sleep with him when she went to the studio to record a feature for his 1996 single, Wanda Why They Call You B. She also claimed that she didn't know Tupac was signed to Death Row and that she wouldn't have tried to do a song with Tupac because of the whole Bad Boys beef. Faith told her side of the story saying, when I met Tupac, I was actually in LA trying to get work as a writer. I was out here writing with a producer on his new group, staying with them in their apartment, explains Evans. We just happened to go out that night to the Hollywood Athletic Club. This was between my first and second album. This was the same event that Tupac claimed he met Faith at and convinced her to sleep with him. However, Faith tells a different story, claiming that they only talked about music and he asked her to hop on a song with him for $25,000 and she accepted. She said, I went to the studio, I realized there were a bunch of Death Row people there, so kind of in my mind I started figuring out right there. I didn't think that was a good look just because of the fact of the Suge and Puff situation at the 1995 Source Awards. Even though I didn't really know a lot of the details about what happened, it was clear he took a jab at Puff at the Source Awards and stuff like that. But I was pretty oblivious to the things that had gone on prior to that until probably a few years later. She did record the song with Tupac, but it was never released because her label, Bad Boy Records, refused to sign off on it for obvious reasons. She also denied the rumors, claiming that Tupac wanted her to perform oral intimacy on him. According to Faith, she did not agree to perform it and left after being paid $25,000. But several people have come out to insist that Faith really did sleep with Tupac. Reggie Wright, who was head of security at Death Row, said they were sitting in what we call a red room. It's like a little private room no bigger than a bathroom. They had a little couch in there. That's where the guys went to either womp on somebody or mainly to go and hook up with a chick. And he was sitting in that room. For some reason, I was going into that room or checking around, doing studio checks and all, and they were in there and he was pushing at that time her head down towards his you-know-what. That's all I saw. Rapper Yuckmouth also claimed that rapper Drew Down caught Faith Evans in Tupac's hotel room. He said Drew Down, I guess, was at the same hotel Pac was staying at. That's when allegedly the night when Faith came over to the room and Drew Down was in the room when she came up. Pac was like, watch and see who I got. You ain't gonna believe who's coming, something like that. Answer the door. So Drew answered the door and it was Faith. Outlaw's rapper Napoleon was also asked about this in an interview, and this is what he said.
Is it true that Faith Evans came to visit Tupac at Can-Am Studios when he got out?
Yeah, bro. But I don't want to get into this because, you know, she was somebody's wife. And I don't want to get into that controversy, you know, Faith Evans, Biggie. I can't do that, but she did come visit him.
Tupac also shaded Biggie with this in his Biggie diss song, Hit 'Em Up, in which he raps, you claim to be a player, but I effed your wife. I mean, even Biggie himself admitted to this in his collab song with Jay-Z, where he said, if Faith have twins, she probably have 2pac's, get it? 2pac's? Yeah, Faith ain't never beaten these allegations. I don't think Biggie would have said that if it didn't really happen, because he would just be embarrassing himself. So yeah, it probably did happen. But then things got more interesting when Tupac's dad, Billy Garland, also confirmed that the affair really happened.
As Tupac had alluded to on 3 different occasions that he had slept with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans. Do you think that Tupac was wrong for sleeping with Biggie's wife, or do you think it took 2 to tango?
He mad at the East Coast like a motherfucker. He mad. So he gonna get back any way he can. Little jabs, you know we do, you know. Like calling the motherfucker. Well, I'm gonna wife. Same shit.
And when he was asked if Tupac and Biggie would have eventually gotten over their beef and reconciled, this is what he said.
So I don't think so. I think aside from that, they might have, in time, as they both matured.
So he believed that they might have sorted out their differences if Tupac had not slept with Faith just to make Biggie mad. But unfortunately, they both passed away before we could see what happened. So the only thing we can do now is speculate if they would have ironed out their differences. People left comments saying Tupac didn't 100% sleep with Faith. He 102% slept with Faith. I've always had a gut feeling Faith lied about not sleeping with Tupac, but after her memoir, I definitely think she did. She's just taking that truth to her grave. If Faith can marry one of Big's best friends years after his death, she 100% slept with Pac. And Faith is the only person who don't know she slept with Pac. Many people are convinced that Faith is just lying to save face, since it would make her look bad if she admits to sleeping with Tupac. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you believe that Tupac really slept with Faith Evans, or has every single person been lying all these years? Let me know your thoughts and then check out this next video.